Tonight, we travel back nearly 2000 years to a world without electricity, without glowing screens, and without the comforting hum of modern life. A world lit only by fire and governed by the slow rhythm of the sun. Before we begin, take a moment to settle in. Dim the lights around you, maybe turn on a fan or allow some gentle background noise to fill the room. Let your breathing slow and allow your body to grow heavy with relaxation. And if you enjoy these quiet journeys into the past, consider liking the video and subscribing, but only if you genuinely find comfort in these stories. Now, let us drift gently into the night of ancient Rome. When we imagine the Roman Empire, we often think of powerful emperors, grand colosseums, and victorious armies. We picture marble statues and magnificent architecture. But rarely do we think about something far more ordinary and far more human: sleep. How did ancient Romans actually sleep? What happened when darkness fell over one of the greatest cities in history? The truth is, sleeping in ancient Rome was nothing like the peaceful rest many of us hope for today. In fact, for many Romans, nighttime could be uncomfortable, noisy, and sometimes even frightening. To understand Roman sleep, we must first understand Roman nights. Ancient Rome was a city that never truly became silent. During the day, the streets were filled with activity. Merchants called out to customers. Blacksmiths hammered metal. Crowds filled the marketplaces. But when night arrived, the noise did not disappear. Instead, it changed. During the daytime, heavy wagons and transport carts were often restricted from entering the city streets. The roads were too crowded with people, so large deliveries had to wait. When darkness fell, however, the city opened itself to transport. Massive wooden carts began rolling through the streets, their heavy iron wheels grinding loudly against stone roads. Horses snorted and stomped. Drivers shouted commands into the darkness. The sound echoed between narrow buildings, filling the night with constant disturbance. For those trying to sleep, it was a nightmare. One Roman writer famously complained that trying to rest in Rome was nearly impossible because of the endless nighttime noise. He described the rumbling carts and shouting drivers as a kind of torture for anyone hoping for peaceful sleep. Imagine lying in your bed, or perhaps on a simple mat, while outside your window, wheels grind against stone and voices echo through the streets. Sleep did not come easily. And yet, this was only one of many challenges Romans faced each night. Let us now step inside a typical Roman home. If you were wealthy in ancient Rome, your sleeping arrangements might be reasonably comfortable. Rich Romans often owned wooden beds raised slightly above the floor. These beds sometimes had thin mattresses stuffed with straw, wool, or feathers. Soft linen sheets might cover the mattress. Wool blankets provided warmth during colder nights. Some even used simple pillows. But even the richest Roman beds were far from modern comfort. Mattresses could be uneven and lumpy. Blankets were often rough. Bed frames creaked with movement. Comfort existed, but it was limited. For ordinary Romans, life was much harsher. Most citizens lived in crowded apartment buildings known as insulae. These tall, narrow buildings housed many families in small, cramped spaces. A single family might live in one small room. Sometimes multiple generations shared that space. Privacy was rare. Quiet was almost impossible. Beds were a luxury many could not afford. Instead, people slept on simple mats laid across the floor. Others used wooden benches or piles of cloth as makeshift bedding. Families often slept side by side, sharing warmth and space. For slaves, conditions were even more difficult. Many slept wherever they could find room: on kitchen floors, near doorways, in storage areas. Sleep was not a peaceful ritual. It was simply a necessity, a brief escape from long days of labor. But perhaps the most surprising aspect of Roman sleep was not where they slept, but how they slept. Unlike most modern people, ancient Romans did not always sleep in one continuous stretch throughout the night. Instead, many followed a pattern historians now call segmented sleep. After sunset, with darkness covering the city and little artificial light available, most Romans went to bed early. Oil lamps provided some light, but they were dim and required expensive fuel. Staying awake late into the night was neither practical nor comfortable, so people slept. They drifted into a deep rest known as the first sleep. This initial period of sleep lasted for several hours and allowed the body to recover from the day's work. Then something interesting happened. In the middle of the night, many Romans naturally woke up. This was not considered unusual. It was simply part of their normal sleep pattern. During this quiet midnight period, the world felt different. The noisy carts had often passed. The city rested in a strange calm between darkness and dawn. People used this time in various ways. Some prayed or meditated quietly. Others spoke softly with family members or partners. Some simply lay awake. As the Roman city slowly settled into darkness, night became a very different world. Without electric lights, the streets of Rome were illuminated only by moonlight, torches, and occasional oil lamps flickering in windows. Shadows stretched across stone roads. Buildings seemed taller, and the ordinary noises of the day transformed into something far more mysterious. For many Romans, nighttime was not just a time for sleep, it was also a time filled with uncertainty. Let us imagine for a moment that you are a resident of ancient Rome. The sun has set. Your evening meal is finished. Perhaps you shared bread, olives, or a simple stew with your family. There is little left to do now. Without television, without social media, without bright lighting, darkness naturally signals that the day is ending. So you prepare for bed. But preparing for sleep in ancient Rome was not always simple. Personal hygiene was different from what we know today. While public bathhouses existed and were popular during the daytime, nightly bathing was not common for everyone. Many Romans went to bed carrying the dust and sweat of the day with them. Bedrooms, if they existed at all, were often shared spaces. Entire families slept in the same room, sometimes even in the same bed. Privacy was a rare luxury. In wealthier households, the paterfamilias, the male head of the family, might have his own sleeping chamber. But even then, servants and slaves often slept nearby, ready to respond if needed. For poorer families, sleeping arrangements were far more crowded. Bodies lay side by side on mats or simple bedding. The warmth of shared sleep helped during cold nights, but it also meant constant disturbance. If one person moved, coughed, or woke, others woke too. And then there were the insects. Ancient Roman homes, especially crowded apartment buildings, were not well protected from pests. Fleas, lice, and bedbugs were common companions at night. Sleep was often interrupted by itching and discomfort. Romans used simple remedies like herbs or oils to repel insects, but these solutions were rarely fully effective. Even in the homes of the wealthy, complete comfort was difficult to achieve. Yet despite these challenges, Romans still developed rituals to help them prepare for rest. Some households lit small oil lamps and placed them near their beds. The gentle glow created a sense of safety against the surrounding darkness. Others offered short prayers to household gods, asking for protection through the night. Religion played an important role in Roman life, and nighttime was no exception. Many believed that sleep left a person vulnerable, not just physically, but spiritually. Dreams were often seen as meaningful messages. Some believed they were sent by the gods. Others feared they might be warnings of misfortune. A particularly vivid or frightening dream could be discussed seriously the next morning, as if it contained hidden truth. Because of this, falling asleep was not always a peaceful surrender. It could also feel like stepping into an unknown world. And then, there was the darkness itself. Modern cities glow with artificial light, making the night feel less intimidating. But in ancient Rome, true darkness existed. When the moon was hidden and clouds covered the sky, streets could become almost completely black. Traveling at night was risky. Crime increased after sunset. Thieves and troublemakers moved through shadowed alleyways. Many Romans preferred to remain indoors once darkness settled. Inside their homes, they listened to the distant sounds of the city, occasional footsteps, a cart rumbling far away, dogs barking somewhere in the distance. Eventually, their eyes grew heavy. They drifted into the first sleep. This first sleep was often deep and heavy. After long days of physical labor, the body welcomed rest quickly. For a few hours, the noise and discomfort of Roman life faded into the background. But then, as midnight. Now, before you fully drift away into sleep, let us remain in the quiet atmosphere of the ancient world just a little longer. Imagine the Roman night once more. The streets are calmer now. Most carts have passed. Most lamps are dimmed. The city rests beneath a wide and silent sky. In this peaceful darkness, countless Romans lie asleep, some in grand villas with decorated walls and open courtyards, others in crowded apartments stacked closely together, some on comfortable beds, others on simple mats. Despite these differences, all share the same vulnerability of sleep. To sleep is to trust the night. For Romans, this trust was not always easy. Without modern security, nighttime carried real dangers. Fires could spread quickly through wooden structures. Thieves sometimes targeted sleeping households. Unexpected noises in the darkness could cause sudden fear. Because of this, many Romans developed habits to feel safer at night. Doors were secured carefully. Oil lamps were placed in safe positions to avoid accidental fires. In wealthier homes, guards or servants might remain partially awake, ensuring protection through the night. Yet even with these precautions, uncertainty remained, and perhaps this uncertainty shaped the Roman relationship with sleep in a meaningful way. Sleep was never taken completely for granted. It was appreciated, respected, sometimes even feared. Dreams too played an important role. Romans believed dreams could hold messages from gods or reveal hidden truths. A powerful or unusual dream might be discussed seriously the next day. Some even visited dream interpreters, hoping to understand what their sleeping minds had revealed. This belief added another layer to nighttime experience. Sleep was not just physical rest. It was a doorway into another world, a world of symbols, omens, and imagination. As morning approached, the first rays of sunlight touched rooftops and temples. Birds began to sing. A new day prepared to begin. Romans rose from their beds and mats. They stretched tired muscles. They stepped once more into the busy rhythm of city life. And then, as evening returned, the entire cycle began again. Day into night, night into sleep, sleep into dreams, dreams into morning. A rhythm as old as humanity itself. As the Roman night deepened and the city slowly drifted into silence, there was a certain rhythm to the darkness that most people accepted without question. Nighttime in ancient Rome was not only about sleep, it was also about preparation, reflection, and survival. Let us imagine once again that you are living in ancient Rome. The evening meal has ended. In wealthier homes, it may have been a large and social dinner with family and guests. In poorer homes, it might have been a simple piece of bread, olives, or leftover grains from the day. Food was not always plentiful, and many Romans went to bed only partially full. Hunger sometimes followed them into sleep, making rest lighter and more fragile. After eating, there were only a few hours before complete darkness covered the city. Without bright lighting, most evening activities were limited. Some families spent time talking quietly. Others prepared bedding on the floor or adjusted simple mats for sleeping. In richer households, servants moved silently through rooms, placing lamps carefully and ensuring doors were secure. Outside, the temperature slowly cooled. During hot Roman summers, nights offered relief from the intense daytime heat. People often welcomed this cooler air, allowing windows or openings to remain slightly uncovered for ventilation. But with open windows came outside sounds, and sometimes insects. Mosquitoes and other pests were common. Romans used basic methods to protect themselves, such as burning certain herbs or using oils on the skin. These methods helped slightly, but complete protection was rare. Eventually, as darkness fully settled, most households prepared for sleep. Oil lamps were either dimmed or extinguished to conserve fuel. Fire was always a risk, and leaving flames unattended during sleep could be dangerous. Many devastating fires in Roman cities began at night, spreading quickly through closely built structures. Because of this, careful families ensured flames were controlled before resting. Once the lamps were out, darkness filled the room. True darkness. In our modern world, even nighttime is filled with artificial light, street lights, screens, glowing electronics. But in ancient Rome, when the lamp went out, vision faded almost completely. People lay down surrounded by shadows and silence. At first, the body remained aware of its surroundings. Small noises felt louder in darkness. A distant footstep, a dog barking, wind moving through narrow streets. Gradually, however, exhaustion took over. Roman days were physically demanding. Most people walked long distances, performed manual labor, or worked in busy markets. By nightfall, the body naturally desired rest, so they slept. The first sleep came deeply and heavily for many. Muscles relaxed, breathing slowed, minds drifted into dreams. Yet even in sleep, the Roman world was never entirely still. Somewhere in the city, guards continued their watch. Night patrols walked slowly through streets carrying lanterns, ensuring order and looking for signs of fire or crime. Occasionally, their footsteps or distant voices could be heard by those sleeping nearby. For some Romans, this sound brought comfort. It meant someone was awake and protecting the city. For others, nighttime brought unease. Darkness made familiar spaces feel unfamiliar. Shadows moved strangely in faint light. The absence of visibility left the imagination free to wander. Stories of spirits and omens existed in Roman culture, and while many people were practical and grounded, a sense of mystery still surrounded the night. Unexplained sounds or vivid dreams could easily stir anxiety. Then came the natural waking period. In the middle of the night, many Romans opened their eyes after a few hours of deep sleep. This was not seen as insomnia or a problem. It was simply part of their natural rhythm. During this quiet interval, the city felt suspended between worlds. Not fully asleep, not yet awake. Some people remained lying down, enjoying the calm stillness. Others whispered quietly to a partner or family member. A few might rise briefly to drink water or check their surroundings. This peaceful pause often lasted for a short time. There was no rush, no glowing clock reminding them of passing minutes. Eventually, sleep returned once more. The second sleep carried them gently toward morning. Dreams during this later period were sometimes remembered more clearly. Upon waking at dawn, a Roman might reflect on what they had seen in dreams, wondering if it held meaning. As the first light of morning touched the rooftops of Rome, birds began their early calls. Soft light entered through windows and doorways. The long Roman night slowly ended. People stirred. They rose from beds and mats. Another day began. And just as the sun would eventually set again, the entire rhythm of Roman sleep would repeat. a cycle guided not by technology but by nature itself. So tonight, as you rest in your own space, surrounded by the comforts of the modern world, remember the count